Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. And welcome to another edition, a Thursday edition of Inside Edge Primetime. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. Tonight I've got a very special guest, co-host. I got my man TK Dandridge, not just my co-host from Illegal Formation, but also from the Sunday Sports Show. So TK, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, brother? Doing all right. Enjoying some of the upsets today with the March Madness going on. Very exciting day today.
Yeah, some of the upsets I'm enjoying. I clearly have an Ohio State shirt on. That wasn't such a big upset. That was
that one was tough, man.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, definitely love the effort to come back in the end. You know, the first half, you thought like, okay, Texas Christian really isn't blowing us out of the water right now. But the three ball was working for them so well. I think 8 of 14 in that first half.
Yeah.
They just continued. It just looked like after a while, like everything they hoisted just fell in, and it was just a crazy first half. And you're thinking, if the Buckeyes can get a stop or two, a big stop or two, a big play, get back into this game, get some momentum going on, we could do something with this. And that's exactly what they did. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull out the win. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, had the wrong banner up. Had NFL free agency banner up. I bet you had the March Madness banner up. But yeah, that's what I texted you, and I'm like, man, I don't even feel like it doesn't feel like TCU's even playing that well. It really felt like the Buckeyes could have been down 25 in that first half. It was looking pretty bad, man. And it's funny because I for some reason I had a dream. I was looking at my bracket last night, and I saw the Ohio State score, and they were down 33-5. And I woke up this morning, and I was like, man, I have a bad feeling. Blown out like that. But, I mean, they obviously fought back. I thought they had a nice second half. They just couldn't get it done in the end. Just not quite enough. They couldn't really stop TCU with the paint down the stretch. By the way, that's the first time I've been with my daughter from school, and I was actually watching the game on my phone in the parking lot. It's the first time I've done that. So it was an interesting experience. But, yeah, whatever. Didn't get it done. TCU obviously won 66-64, so Ohio State one and done. But they're, I guess progress sometimes can be a tough pill to swallow, but they're back in the tournament, right? Didn't last long, but they were there. So we'll see how that goes just going forward. Some other scores. I mean, I guess we could stay, let's stay in the Big Ten. Michigan took care of Howard 101-80. Or 101-80 rather. Excuse me. That just went final, I think, just a couple of minutes ago, right? That was a later game. Nebraska took care of Troy. I actually had Troy beating Nebraska in this one, TK.
Yeah. I took them too. I felt, kind of felt something in the air, looking for another one of those upsets. The first day of March Madness, everybody's looking for the big upset. They want all the hot money lines, all the no-name schools to make a statement and all that good stuff. So,
yeah. Hey, one of the years we're going to get an entire Sweet 16 of just mid-majors, man. It's just going to be like, High Point, Indiana, like all those schools. Maybe Miami of Ohio. Yeah, I don't know if you heard Double A was talking last night. If Miami of Ohio makes a little bit of a run, he's like, hey, I can see him turning into, the Gonzaga, I guess, in the Midwest, right? Just all of a sudden. NIL changes things a little bit, right?
It really does, man.
Go to a different place, maybe, and play some basketball, whatever. Maybe not have the toughest competition. Although, listen, don't blame Miami, right? They tried. I mean, we had the story. They tried to play people, right? A lot of people turned them down. So they did their best. What else? We got High Point beat. High Point beat Wisconsin 83-82. I'm crazy on my first day of the bracket. I think I picked High Point over Wisconsin as well, but I picked a lot of other upsets that did not happen. So. Got a comment real quick. You guys think will win it all? I'm not right now. I've got Arizona winning it all in my bracket. I'm not straying. I'm going to stick with the Wildcats. TK really picked to win it all. What do you think?
Whew. Man, that's really tough. Right now, the favorite for me is going to be the University of Michigan.
Okay.
As hard as that is for me to say that, especially with what I got on right now, I definitely think they have the most complete roster in the country. I definitely think they are very well coached. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that I could see them in the national championship this year and possibly hoisting the national championship trophy. So, yeah, I'm going to take the University of Michigan.
That's fair. There were 4 or 5 teams that I said, listen, I think these 4 or 5 teams have a more than just a legitimate shot to win the title. It's like these are my 5 favorite teams. So, yeah, I can definitely see them a run and easily. Well, not easily, but I could see them winning it all for sure. What else do we have? We have first day action. Illinois is up on 10 right now, 12-8. It's really early in that one, early in the first half. Michigan State took care of North Dakota State, 3/14 there. Michigan State won 92-67. Just ho-hum. Month of March for Tom Izzo. Like they seem to be a middling team at some point, always during the regular season. Every turn it on, they get to the Sweet 16 at the very least. I don't know how
this tournament jazz is second nature to Tom Izzo.
Yeah,
he's been doing this for forever.
It's
really been doing this for absolutely forever.
It really is. What do you think about VCU beating North Carolina today? VCU won
82. Listen, I took the upset just because, I really didn't see North Carolina as a dominant team, a very good team, but not necessarily a dominant team. And I figured, okay, 12 versus 5, this happens often. This happens often when we see the 12 beat the 5.
It was 11 over 6, actually. Right there. You were right there. Very close, but yeah.
11 over 6? I'm sorry. I definitely thought it was 12. That's my thank you for correcting me, Chad. But,
good.
Thinking, I definitely think they could win this game. And in the first half, it definitely didn't look that way. They were down by 19 at one point. I definitely thought the game was over early in the second half. But they just kept grinding and chipping away at North Carolina. And like I said, not a dominant team. VCU was able to exploit that and came back and got a thrilling 4-point win.
Yeah. Texas.
That's probably the best upset of the day.
Yeah.
There were a few.
I personally, like I said, I liked High Point over Wisconsin. I believe I went with that one in my bracket. If not, like I said, I picked about every other upset. So I'm whatever. That's first day bracket talk for me though. I usually fall out pretty early anymore lately. Vanderbilt, I was a little disappointed. I think I took McNeese over Vanderbilt. Didn't get that one. Vanderbilt won that one by 10. They won 78-68. So Amir Khan done in the NCAA tournament along with McNeese State. That was disappointing to me. One of the funniest personalities. I think that was it's been kind of a cool thing over the last couple of years. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to watch some of the scores and keep an eye on some of these games. Illinois kind of jumped out on Penn 20-13 now. TK, what was your biggest surprise? Did you have a biggest surprise today? I mean, was it Siena jumping up on Duke? And really, I mean, it looked like they were going to put Duke away, but they just sort of crumbled down the stretch. I don't think they had quite enough depth to keep up with the Blue Devils really at the end of it.
Man, those boys from Siena came to play today. I tell you, those young men were in the stadium early and ready for the Duke Blue Devils. They were watching our game. Duke was just pulling up to the stadium, I think, when we tipped off the second half. So those kids from Siena were ready to ball today, and they gave Duke everything they could handle. I definitely thought they were going to pull it off. The first half was great. Obviously, you knew that Duke whistle was going to come off and get the blowing eventually, and it did, and they were able to win the game by 6. Give that university a ton of credit. Those young men showed up and showed out for their university. They did everything that they could. Just higher quality talent won in the end.
Yeah, I mean, just the depth. I mean, at one point, I think 25 minutes in, Siena had not played. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was 25 minutes in, but it was a good deal into the first half. Siena hadn't even they hadn't subbed out at all. The starters had been in the entire time. So, I mean, you only have so much depth, I guess, when you're a 16 seed going up against Duke. That's going to be tough. But yeah, they jumped out on them quick. I mean, they were on fire early. Just couldn't quite hold it together. But that would have been one of the more fun upsets of the last few years. It would have, a lot of people have Duke, I'm sure, in their Final Four or national championship game. I'm sure that would have that would have upset some brackets pretty early on, TK, but didn't happen. That's okay. That's okay. This is one of my favorite days of the year, by the way. I wonder how much productivity we lost, just like in the workplaces and people working from home, wandering away from their laptop or their PC or whatever, watching the NCAA tournament. We were just talking about it last night on Primetime, Eli and I, where I remember the teacher still that would wheel into TV. You know, you would see it coming in about 11 o'clock on the first day of the NCAA tournament. You're like, oh, yeah, afternoon's going to be good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to try to find a way to come back to this. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. We've got one of the late games here getting ready to tip off. We've got Idaho and Houston, the 2, and the 2 Houston. Idaho's the 15 seed. That'll tip off at about 10:15. Kennesaw State and Gonzaga will tip off just after that at 10:24. Other than that, that'll be the last 4 games of the day. They'll all be active about the same time. We'll try to keep you updated as we go here. But you know what? Let's take a quick break. Let's before we do that though. We got to tell you about our friends from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Right now, let me pull up the code. I've got too much going on. My computer's not liking this, buddy. It's struggling. Yeah, use that code Inside Edge 20. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. I've told you about it before. We've got candles all over the house. They're burning. They smell amazing. They're it smells clean. It doesn't smell. Sometimes you like the big box store candles and they smell okay, but it's like you can smell that chemical smell. These are homemade right here in the USA in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a small business. So please, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, visit the website, candles, body mists, buy your loved ones a gift for you've got Easter coming up. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of reasons. If you've got birthdays, just because, to be honest with you, they make great end of the year teacher gifts as well. We packaged one of the candles that we had up for my son's teacher for her birthday and, put it in a nice little bag. And she loved it. She said it smelled great. So I tend to agree. So please visit our sponsor, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. I am trying to, there we go. And just like I said, use our code Inside Edge 20 and you're going to get 20% off your first order from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. All right, give us just a few minutes here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be back. When we get back, TK, my man, you had something on your mind, right? You said the NFL free agency, that this whole last week and a half, 2 weeks is kind of weighing heavily on you. I'm gonna let you air it out when we get back, man. We'll give us about 5 minutes. We'll be right back, and let's let TK air out his thoughts on NFL free agency. We'll get into a little bit of the Browns moves, and we'll talk about something weird that the Browns are trying to do right now as well. That makes me nervous, to be honest with you. We talked about it last night with Eli. I want to get TK's thoughts on it because it makes me feel like it's setting up for something that's not going to make us very happy. So 5 minutes. We'll be right back on the Inside Edge Network. This is Inside Edge Primetime. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit w.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10. All right, didn't unmute me. Welcome back. We are back on Inside Edge Primetime. It's again Thursday edition of Inside. This week is flying by, TK. I was just talking to someone that picking up my kids from school today, and I have no idea what day of the week it is. It's just for some reason, I don't know if it's because they didn't have school last Friday, then we spent all weekend without power. But it just feels like I still haven't recovered from that. I have no idea what day it is. So surprised to see that it was Thursday this morning. Anyway, welcome back, TK. And you texted me earlier. You said I got something heavy on my mind, man. You said NFL free agency is kind of looming. It's on there. I got to get it off my chest, man. So first of all, I want to know. I'm curious now. I want to know what caught your attention because there has been a lot going on with that. By the way, one of the dumbest things in sports, I think, is the legal tampering period. What like why do we even just call it the legal free agent? Like, why is there? Anyway, that's dumb to me.
Dumbest thing in the world.
So tell me what's on your mind. The NFL free agency is on your mind. Tell me what you got.
Listen, man, as always, there's going to be a ton of motion going around in the NFL year-round, especially when the new league year starts.
Yeah.
March is definitely a trying time for a lot of football teams to try to cover as many holes as they can before the draft, and I definitely think these few teams have done the best job of that. We're going to get to the Browns eventually, but I just had these 5 teams in mind that I've been very interested in. I wanted to give a lot of love to the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought their free agency haul was very good. You were able to get linebackers Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker back together. Remember that Georgia National Championship team from a few years ago? They were menaces in the middle of that championship defense. These are very rangy linebackers, athletic guys that do pretty much everything. These guys can cover the run. They can cover passes. They can blitz the quarterback. They can do some of the little things. And they are great leaders of defense. Granted, I definitely think Nakobe is going to be the better of the two. I definitely think putting those guys back together is a wonderful thing. Also, being able to sign guys like Kwity Paye, giving him a 3-year, $48 million deal, signing him away from the Indianapolis Colts to shore up that pass rush a little bit, give Max Crosby some help for when he returns. They traded for Taron Johnson. I thought that was a very good move. Very highly rated slot corner, will help that secondary a ton. Also with the resigning of Eric Stokes, that's going to be huge for their secondary as well. Now you're just waiting for the drafting of Fernando Mendoza and others, to go ahead and finish off this roster. Next team I want to talk about was the Tennessee Titans. This was a team that was in limbo from last year. One of the 3 teams that happened to go 3-14. It's like, look, okay, we have a new coaching staff. We have a new color scheme, new uniforms, all this good stuff. It's time to get better results. It's time to get rid of this sour taste in our mouth. And I think their free agency haul was very solid. You move on from L'Jarius Sneed, who had a very terrible injury-prone 2025 season. You get Cordell Flott from the Giants, who had a very solid year. You end up getting sorry, my apologies. You end up getting a third of the Ravens roster in free agency. You got tight end Isaiah Likely, fullback Patrick Ricard, safety Darius Washington. The list is very long, and I know I'm forgetting a couple guys right now. I'm starting to get a little bit fuzzy in the brain, but at the same time,
you're getting old, man. You're getting old.
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking about the Giants for a minute, but for the Tennessee Titans, I definitely love what they were able to do. Wanted them to get that big free agent wide receiver. Was hoping that they'd be able to somehow, target a guy like George Pickens and maybe a sign and trade. Yeah. But obviously that didn't work. Dallas is really invested in keeping him. But I definitely think they did a wonderful job of getting guys to fill out that roster. Next, I wanted to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, look, I don't expect them to make significant strides this year. I do expect them to be slightly better. I don't think all is lost at the quarterback position. I know it isn't the sexiest thing in the world to say, hey, Jacoby Brissett is our QB1 and Gardner Minshew is our QB2. I understand that. But at the same time, Jacoby Brissett had the best year of his career last year. I do expect him to, if not build on that, but at least to keep some type of solid play going on, some consistency at the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. I love the offensive signings. First and foremost, Isaac Seumalo from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to improve the interior of that offensive line. Protecting the quarterback has been an issue for the Arizona Cardinals for quite some time. Granted, Paris Johnson Jr. has been a solid pick at the left tackle position. The rest of the offensive line, it's kind of scatter plot. Yelta Froholt is a solid center, but you got some holes to fill. Matt Pryor and Elijah Wilkinson were both brought in from free agency. Matt Pryor, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles. Elijah Wilkinson spent last year with the Atlanta Falcons. Also from the Atlanta Falcons, Tyler Algier, who I think has a huge chance to be their RB1 this year. Definitely been underused since the Falcons drafted the likes of Bijan Robinson. And listen, everyone can understand that. Bijan Robinson is absolutely box office. But I definitely think Tyler Algier can seize that RB1 position for the Arizona Cardinals. And listen, if all goes well, if all these cats stay healthy and play the rest of the season, I do think this is a football team that can vie for 6 or 7 wins.
Okay.
That's not me. That's not me glazing. That's not me over projecting. It's just I think some of the fans in Arizona right now are taking this a bit too hard. I understand you guys believe that this is going to be a rebuilding year, and very much is. But at the same time, I do not think all is lost for you guys at all.
Let me ask you real quick before you go on. Let me ask you something real quick. Were you surprised that the Falcons let Algier go?
No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I definitely think Tyler Algier definitely priced himself out in order to possibly become an RB1 for another team. He understood the situation. Like, hey, listen, 7 is going to get a bulk of the carries. If not all of them, he's going to get the football a ton. If Kyle Pitts or Drake London aren't. So, he understood that, it's time to just go ahead and move on and find.
Well, there were rumors for a minute. If you remember, there were rumors for a second that Stefanski was ready to move on from Bijan Robinson too. And I'm like, this would be the most Kevin Stefanski thing. Just get there and completely shed all offense, right? Like, just get rid of any ability to score the football. And I made the joke. It's like, listen, we're not going to score because then what do we have to do? Then we have to give the ball back to the other team. So we're just going to hold on to the ball as long as we can. Even if we go nowhere with it, we're not giving it up, right? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, man, it really is strange. But I really don't believe that. I mean, he's the best player on that football team. I don't know why you would want to do such a thing, especially, since granted, you got the head coaching job very easily after a couple of wet bag years in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to mess this up. This could be a very huge year for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see.
Boy, if they win, Browns fans are going to be mad, TK.
Yeah, we are. But at the same time, it's like, listen, you have to put things into perspective. You think about when he came in for us, and we were able to win immediately because he did all the right things.
Yeah,
he has the same opportunity. He has the same opportunity to do that in Atlanta, and I will not be surprised if he seizes it. It's just that simple. Another team that really interested me, that gave me an interesting vibe in free agency, was the New York Jets. Listen, last year was rough. Again, 3-14.
Yeah.
First team in NFL history to finish the year with absolutely 0 interceptions. I don't know how that happened. But they paid attention. Yeah. They paid attention very closely to the defensive side of the football, and they made it imperative to get veterans in here. They signed guys like David Onyemata. They traded for Tennessee's Tavondre Sweat. They got guys like Dane Belton and my goodness, why am I drawing a blank? Why now? Oh, they brought back Demario Davis. After 8 years with the Saints, he's coming back to the New York Jets for a 3rd time. I definitely still think, even at the age of 37, he is one of the better linebackers in the NFL. He is an absolute profound leader. I think that man's faith drives him not only to be a great person, but to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL, especially for as long as he has been.
Yeah.
So he's going to be imperative to that defense, especially after losing a guy like Quincy Williams.
Yeah.
He signed with us not too long ago. So, yeah, they're going to.
I thought that was a great move. We'll get to the Browns, but I thought that was a great move to replace Devin Bush leaving. I thought that was
right. Absolutely.
really pretty excellent.
They were able, yeah, for real. Yeah, honestly, I loved it. Definitely loved it. Had a bit of a down year last year, but I think he could pick it back up. He's with the guy that he's familiar with in Mike Ruttenberg. Hey, just unleash him. The Jets were able to address the edge position. They got Kingsley Enikbare from the Green Bay Packers and Joseph Asai from the Cincinnati Bengals. Situational pass rushers with guys that you can fill in the rotation. Rotate these guys in and out. When you need to give Will McDonald the fourth a breather. He is their top billed pass rusher, had another double-digit sack season last year at just over 10.5. I definitely think that, there wasn't too much attention paid to the offensive side of the ball. They did make the trade for Geno Smith, sending a 7th-round pick to the Las Vegas Raiders, and getting Las Vegas Raiders starting left guard Dylan Parham to replace Johnny Simpson in the lineup. Yeah, I know you're shaking your head. Listen, it was terrible last year for Geno. He broke my heart. He was terrible last year, but I do think he can bounce back and be at least solid, be that bridge quarterback that the New York Jets need to go into the 2027 season. Obviously, Dylan Parham is not a Pro Bowler by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely think he can be a slight upgrade over Johnny Simpson, especially in the pass blocking regimen. Definitely not Johnny Simpson's best attribute. Speaking of him, he went back to the Baltimore Ravens in free agency this year. And the last team that I'm going to talk about in free agency that I thought did a pretty good job, before we go ahead and jump into the Browns, I'm going to say, here's a second here, sorry about that. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. The Carolina Panthers. Didn't think I was going to say that, did you?
I thought you might go back to the well. I know you love your Panthers, man. I know you love your Panthers.
Right. Listen, I know the money is going to be a big deal for these two major acquisitions that they have made, especially with linebacker Devin Lloyd and edge rusher Jalen Phillips. I thought the contract for Devin Lloyd was good, 3 years, $45 million, especially after the season he had. He's definitely put together a solid career as a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars after being a 2nd-round pick from the University of Utah a few years ago. I think with Jalen Phillips, when you give a guy that much money that is yet to have a double-digit sack season, that is not necessarily an elite player in any category, very solid run defender, very solid edge rusher, solid tackler. What does he do that is elite that would make you want to give him a 4-year contract that will exceed over $120 million? That the money is definitely going to play a big part of that, but I definitely think he has all the opportunity in the world to have the best season of his career, to help a team that is ascending and plans to do more in the future. They won the division last year. They were able to host a playoff game. They want to improve on that. Dan Morgan is not taking his foot off the gas for any reason whatsoever. And I definitely think this free agency period showed exactly what he was willing to do, to be able to go out there and get the top left tackle in the free agent market. We had a talk about him not too long ago, former Green Bay Packer Rasheed Walker. His market dwindled very quickly because I think a lot of teams caught on to the signing of Dan Moore last year with the Tennessee Titans when they gave him 4 years, slightly over $82 million. I don't think that type of market was ever going to exist for Rasheed Walker, but Dan Morgan was able to get him on a 1-year, $10 million pack, and he will be the Carolina Panthers starting left tackle while Ike Ekwonu repairs that Achilles rupture that he had in the playoff games against the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. Okay.
And those are my 5 teams.
All right. Hey, I'm going to ask you about the Jets, though. You talked about the defensive side of the ball. Brought in a lot of veterans, a lot of influence guys, right? Guys that are going to be able to maybe help you get from where they are now to where they want to be. Maybe not a part of the long-term future, but they're going to help you get there, right? But the offense. TK, man, the offense. I mean, my goodness. I mean, they're literally and figuratively punting until 2027, right? Like they're not – really, basically, not even 2028, right? I mean, Geno Smith can't. They're not going to. You don't expect them to win 5, 6, 7 games there, do you? They didn't
No.
get that much defense.
No, to be quite honest, I definitely think they can improve on the win total. You said probably 5 or 6 wins. I would agree with that, to be honest. I'm sorry, I thought I probably said no. I misheard you, my fault. But yeah, to get like 5 or 6 wins, possibly 7, that is possible. What you want is to be able to get guys that can not only make plays but could be mentors in certain situations. They had a lot of young guys on that roster. I think they were the second youngest team in the NFL last year. Which can often lead to a lot of losing, and lead to you not having any turnovers for the entire season.
Yeah, but you hope it leads to a lot of learning too, right? I mean, that's the idea. You want to progress. But listen, do they want to win next year? I mean, are they trying to? I mean, who do you think the Jets have in mind to be the quarterback? It's not Geno Smith. He's not the quarterback of the future there. Are they looking at like Arch Manning? I mean, who do you like in your gut? What does your gut tell you they're looking for?
My gut tells me half the league wants Arch Manning, but I think there was some genuine interest in Oregon's Dante Moore. Now, I don't know necessarily what the stock is going into this season. Obviously, Dylan Raiola has made the transfer to the University of Oakland. It's obviously going to be a quarterback controversy, quarterback battle in training camp. Wonder if he comes out on top and has another solid season this year. But I definitely think there was genuine interest. If they don't get the number 1 pick, which they usually tend to screw this thing up, they screwed up getting the number 1 pick multiple times. But if they do manage to get it, I'm almost positive that it's going to be Archie Manning. But Dante Moore could be up on that board. I definitely think that's probably the safest bet right now. To think that they've been looking at him for the future next year.
Do you think anybody's looking at Dante Moore and looking at Dylan Gabriel and going, I mean, do you think that does any of that rub off on Dante Moore's draft status?
To be honest, I honestly do. I think that they hold that against him somewhat. That he wasn't able to beat him out while he was at the University of Oregon. It's kind of scary to think of. But I definitely think with him having the physical traits and skill set that he has, not too many teams are going to worry about that too much, especially if he puts together another solid season this year. Hopefully he'll improve on that and maybe play a little bit better in the college football playoff. That'll probably help as well. But I just think right now some people may have soured on him, but I don't think everyone's completely out yet.
Okay. I don't know enough about, I mean, personally, I'll be honest with you. I don't know enough about Dan Lanning's track record to know whether he goes, experience over dynamic playmaking ability. You remember when Urban Meyer was at Ohio State, he seemed to always go with more experience. You had JT Barrett out there and people said, listen, let Cardell play, right? And then they had a whole the 2 quarterback system that wasn't working. But Urban Meyer always kind of, he would lean toward the side of the experience, right? And I think in JT Barrett's case, that was okay. JT Barrett was a gamer. I mean, he was the ultimate competitor, right? Physical tools weren't they didn't pop off the page, but he always seemed to get it done. So again, I just don't know personally enough about Dan Lanning's track record to know whether he is that kind of same coach like Urban Meyer, where he leans toward, hey, this guy's been here, he knows the system, he's been 1 more year. Let's go with Dylan Gabriel. Next year it'll be done. I don't know. But I just, that just seems to leave that would leave a sour taste in my mouth. Watching what Dylan Gabriel did with the Browns and then knowing that Dante Moore was there and could be, I don't know. It just that would leave me, I guess, wondering what was up with Dante Moore the year that he couldn't beat out Dylan Gabriel. But I wonder if that
definitely got some questions.
Yeah, for sure. Who else did I want to ask you about? I thought there was another question I had during that, but let's move on. That's okay. I want to talk about the Browns quick. TK. So the Browns are trying to propose a rule change. Right now, you can only trade draft picks out 3 years, right? The Browns say, no, forget that. We'd like to mortgage more of our future. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to stack it with somebody. Either way, this new rule, if it gets approved, it has to be approved. But if it were to be approved in the Browns' hands, and like you said, Jimmy Haslam, Barry, it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous that they're going to do the right thing with this. What do you like? What's your? I don't know. I mean, it's just my instinct tells me that they're looking to, like you said, offload someone big, right? Physically big, also, but figuratively big. I just feel like they're trying to get rid of Myles Garrett, right? And people go, well, Myles Garrett's not even talking. Well, okay, listen. I think he understands that he hurt the Browns' ability to move him last year by demanding a trade. I think that's just obvious, right? You when you do that, when you demand a trade publicly, I think you diminish the return immediately, right? Because now teams are like, well, okay, well the Browns they're trading from necessity. They're not just listen. If you want out of there, we're not giving them 3 first-round picks because we know you want out. So I wonder if that's part of it. If it's just like, hey, keep it internal. We're working. We're going to try to to get this stuff. But I don't want the Browns to trade Myles Garrett. But
right.
Okay, what else would they be doing with this rule change? Like, what are they doing? What do you think?
They want to be able to move someone big. I definitely think Myles Garrett and Dylan Zoward are going to be the 2 guys that come to mind first. I definitely think this is somewhat in an effort to attempt to avenge the Deshaun Watson trade somehow, some way. I really don't think that the Jacksonville trade that they made in last year's draft was enough. It was definitely a stepping stone in the right direction and a trade that has worked out for us so far. But I definitely think Travis Hunter is going to be an elite player for many years to come. He definitely flashed that this year before he got hurt. Yeah. So there's more to see on that. But yeah, this has a big potential move written all over it. I don't see any other reason why you would want to submit 5 years worth of draft picks out after you've already screwed up the future of a franchise so maliciously with a 3-year draft trade. That makes absolutely no damn sense whatsoever. So yeah, I definitely smell a big move coming around the horizon, and I don't like it at all.
No, it makes me nervous. I feel like I feel like they're not trying to give away more picks at this point. Like that can't be the thing, unless they've got a quarterback in mind that they're trying to bring in. I don't trust them, by the way, to assess. They could trade that big. If you're talking about trading picks for 5 years, man, it better be 3rd and 4th and 5th round picks, not first rounders. I don't want to see first round picks go for the next 5 seasons. And if they do, TK, you have to get it right. You can't miss it. Get it right. You can't get another Deshaun Watson situation. I mean, and if they're trying to stack picks, okay, listen, it's going to be really hard to trade Myles Garrett. Just cap wise, it's going to be really, really tough. So they're going to have to get a team that's going to, I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of that they're proposing the rule. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to speculate too much on it because I don't know. I just don't know. I have no information. I have no, as I've said, I don't have. There's no source. There's nothing. It's just my gut tells me that they're trying to do something big, and my brain tells me every time they tried to do something big in the last 26 years, they've really messed it up, and it hasn't really mattered who the ownership has been or who the who's in the front office or anything. It hasn't mattered. They've just every big move they've made, they've eventually ended up, messing it up in one way or another. So that makes me nervous. We'll see if it's approved. I think they have to get 24 of 32 owners to approve it. Do you think they even have the momentum? That's one thing I haven't looked into. It's what the league perception is. I mean, do you have enough juice to get this thing approved, or does anybody get it? I don't know. Is it going to happen or not?
He's got some votes for the rule to go through. I'm not sure if everyone has caught wind of it just yet. I definitely think it's going to take some time to get the overall perspective of the league or which direction we're going to go with this new rule proposal. But I'm sure he's going to have some support somewhere, if not overwhelming support, and it does become an actual thing. I hope not, but at the same time, I definitely think there are a lot of general managers out there that really don't value draft picks as much as they value established players. So I wouldn't.
Okay, I think I lost you for a moment there, but I thought it was funny that the Browns proposed a rule change, and who else? The Steelers. They have to be rivals in every possible way. So the Steelers were like, well, hell, if you're going to propose a rule change, we're proposing a rule change. They want limitations on the legal tampering period. So I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like, wow, they're even rivals in off-season red tape stuff. That's amazing. Listen, let's take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to hear from our friends very quickly. If we get back over to the page at sportsmemorabilia.com. Let me get that up for you. Like I said, we'll hear this read. We'll take a break for about 5 minutes here. And then when we get back, TK, man, are the Supersonics coming back to the NBA?
I can't wait.
Man, can we just get this over with? It's been way too
Yeah,
long. Cold, man. Like, let's go. Let's get them out.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that when we get back. Like I said, we'll hear from our friends at sportsmemorabilia.com. We'll take a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes here on the Inside Edge Network on Inside Edge Primetime. Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com. And hey, we're back on Inside Edge Primetime on the Inside Edge Network on this Thursday edition of Inside Edge Primetime. I can't believe it's almost the end of the week. TK, my kids have one more day of school and then they're on spring break, man. So I'm gonna have to find some stuff for them to do. I gotta keep them busy for a week. We'll see how that goes. But we are back. Listen, one quick thing we got to get to. I wanted to get your TK, meaning you. I want to get your reaction on some stuff because I gotta listen. The NBA is doing some stuff, okay? Are they are they doing the right thing here? Are the Seattle Supersonics back? Is it finally time that I get to see the green and gold? Listen, I miss the Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf days, man. I miss those days, TK. I know those aren't coming back, but can we at least get the unis back?
Look, man, there is a huge possibility that it's going to happen, but I definitely think we're going to have to wait on that. I definitely thought at the beginning of the season that there was a chance that will happen during the 26-27 season. Then they pushed it back to the 27-28 season. Now I think the general consensus is that it's going to start in the 28-29 season.
Okay.
It's a grueling process. It is long overdue. You thought this would have been done years ago, especially having the All-Star game in 2007 at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
You thought this would be a solid, in cement conclusion that pro basketball would be in Las Vegas one day. And, especially after the move for the Seattle Supersonics going to the Oklahoma City Thunder, we were promised that the Seattle Seahawks or Seattle Supersonics would be back in the NBA at some point. So we're going on 20 years almost. So
I know it doesn't even seem like that's possible, but yeah. I mean, it's been almost 2 decades. It's wild. It's too long, man. That's way too long.
The big thing that I think is taking so long, I think the cost of an NBA team in general has gone up, especially for an expansion team. You think the general consensus to own a team in Las Vegas would center anywhere between $2 to $5 billion. So, you're going to have to find a group of individuals to be able to come together and, be able to fund that sort of money to be able to run that team. And of course, you have to find sponsors and all that other good stuff. So that could take a while. I definitely think, because of the city that you're in, that it's definitely going to cost more. Seattle might not cost as much. I definitely think Seattle could cap out at $2 billion, possibly $3 billion at the absolute most. But I could definitely see a Las Vegas team exceeding that of $5 billion, just to be able to have a host team there. And you have multiple choices with the arena. You have the Thomas & Mack Center. I think the Michelob Ultralight Arena is also a solution as well. Caesars Palace, MGM Grand Arena as well. You have a number of options that you can go to.
I want to see him play in the Sphere, in the Vegas Sphere. I want to see him play in there, man. That'd be nice. Amazing atmosphere, wouldn't it?
That'd be pretty cool. But there's a number of ways that you can go with this. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be waiting a little bit longer. I definitely thought we would be looking at that next year. Looking like the 28-29 season is going to be when it starts.
Okay. Well, I guess we've waited almost 20 years. We've waited a little bit longer. We have to. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'm excited to see the Seattle Supersonics back. I don't know what else is going to have to. There's a little bit of movement that's going to have to go or whatever. They'll figure that out. Hopefully, they'll figure it out soon. But man, TK, the way time is flying, it's going to be here before you know it. And honestly, man, speaking of the way time flies, we're almost out of here. We got to. I guess the last thing to get to is just final thoughts, man. So I want to ask you: Do you want to go first? You want to give us your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. What is on my mind today?
Leave us with some wisdom.
Well, to be honest, I already got my thoughts out about NFL free agency.
Fair.
Time for me to talk about March Madness today. Obviously, our Ohio State Buckeyes were losers today.
Yeah.
Against the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs, 66-64. They made a valiant effort.
Yeah.
The second half comeback. Didn't get the win. It's definitely been an exciting day for March Madness. Definitely glad that it's back. We had some thrilling upsets today. Virginia Commonwealth was able to beat North Carolina. High Point squeaked out a win over Wisconsin. And obviously, I just talked about Texas Christian beating Ohio State. Definitely think this is going to be a March Madness to remember, and it's off to a wonderful start. Those are my thoughts, man. That's not very going on with me, so.
Hey, no, I mean, a quick score update right now. Illinois is up on Penn, 40-30. That's at halftime. Georgia down big to St. Louis right now with about 2 minutes to go in the first half. St. Louis is winning 42-29. So the 9 seed St. Louis over Georgia, the 8 seed there. Houston, the 2 seed in the South region. They're up on Idaho, 42-20. 3:03 left in the first half there. And Gonzaga and Kennesaw State are still battling it out. It's 19-18. About 5:45 to go in the first half. So, my final thoughts are the same as my final thoughts last night. Last night was enjoy the first day. My final thoughts are enjoy the second day of the NCAA tournament, right? A lot of March Madness. Hopefully get some buzzer beaters tomorrow. Same advice as last night. Don't get fired, right? Don't be at your desk watching games when you're not supposed to watch games. Everybody loves March Madness, right? But you can't get fired. At the very least, you got to take a PTO day, right? Take a vacation day. Call in sick. You got to do something, right? Desperate times call for desperate measures. So if you want to watch the second day, unbothered, you got to do what you got to do. So just don't let your boss catch you watching at your desk. Don't get fired. Don't lose your job over March Madness. It's not that important. Although I do love the NCAA tournament. Love the first 2 days. Nothing really beats the first 2 days. I almost feel disappointed sometimes, TK, and Saturday and Sunday, because it's like, you had 16 games these first 2 days. It's so much fun. All the coverage bouncing around or whatever. It's a little disappointing when it dwindles, but it happens. What are you going to do? So enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. We got a busy weekend on the Inside Edge Network. We have, all kinds of stuff. What do we have? We have Real Talk. TK, you and I are going to be on Saturday morning at 11. We'll bring you a legal formation. And then Sunday, the Sunday Sports Show, we'll have a lot of these games wrapped up. We'll have a pretty good idea of some of the teams that are going to be making up the Sweet 16. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about any surprises, any blowouts, any major upsets, buzzer beaters. We'll have all that, and hopefully Ryan Monster will have his voice back. Hopefully he's feeling better, and he'll be with us on Sunday. Definitely thinking of him. Hopefully he's feeling better. That's it. That's all we got for you guys. So listen, it's Thursday night. There's no midnight run with Anthony Alford tonight, so enjoy. Well, we have Mike Check Take 2 tomorrow night, right? We have that too. I almost forgot to mention that. So enjoy the rest of your week or your weekend. If your kids are on spring break as well, enjoy that. If you're going on vacation, enjoy it. For TK Dandridge, I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. Thanks, TK, for being with me tonight. I appreciate you, brother. And that's all we've got for you. We'll see you guys next time here. We'll see you Monday when Eli will be back on Inside Edge Primetime. Okay, take care.